Let's do a field wireable. You're going to need a razor. You're going to need a wire stripper that goes down to number 12, since there's number 12 conductors. And you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver with a pretty small tip. There are 4 parts to your field wireable connector, either a male or a female contact carrier. And then you have the housing. And then you're going to have a seal, which is going to come in 3 different sizes. You're not going to need the 2 larger sizes, so just keep the smaller one. And lastly, a cable gland. The first thing you're going to do is slip the cable gland and then the seal over your Q-raw cable, and then you're going to slip over the housing. Next, we'll install the contact carrier. To do that, we're going to need to strip off some sheathing. We're going to strip off the amount of sheathing that's the same size as that contact carrier. The outer sheathing comes off really easily with a razor blade. Just make sure you don't nick any of the internal conductors. Then we're going to strip off that piece of sheathing. I use my wire strippers, just drag it out a little bit, about halfway, until you get some resistance. And then you'll just tweeze the top of it with your wire strippers and pull it, and you'll have access to them. Next step is to land the wires into the contact carrier. I'm going to strip off just the amount that gets me from the bottom of the contact carrier to the top of the port, and I'm just going to strip that off, and in this case land it in the neutral port. But if you look at the contact carrier, you'll see that it's labeled 1 for line 1, 2 for line 2. You flip it around, it's got 3 for line 3, and then it's got a ground and a neutral. Now that ground you're going to skip. You're never going to need to wire that ground up. The next step is to land the conductors in the contact carrier. I'm going to start by landing this neutral, and I'm going to tighten it up, again using a fairly small tipped Phillips head screwdriver. The pro tip for this is to only land 1 wire at a time. So you're going to want to strip one, then land it, then strip another one, and then land it. Otherwise you might maul up the wires. And then here it is, all landed up. We're going to then want to slip on the housing. We're going to slip it on till we hear that click, and then tighten, put in the seal, and then put the cable gland on, tighten it down, and then you're all ready to go.